All right, we're down here at the shop. Came in here after I got mowing. I knew this idler was bad, and we're just gonna take a look at it here. Basically, if you've never done this before, it's a pretty easy process. All you really need to do is right here in this access hole, there'll be a fitting. Recommend you take it completely out and get it good and cleaned up before you put it back in. There's gonna be a lot of grease come out. The easiest way to compress that is basically just to use a pry bar. So I've got this long pry bar which I stuck up in here, pressed against the track, push the thing all the way back. This will actually go back in here, and you can see there's a little post that pushes against this. I've already slid this out a little ways. But here's the problem. So going forward, really don't have an issue. Going backwards, we get a lot of resistance, and the reason is the back side of this bearing or bushing is shot. So you can see it's kind of rubbed up against the frame there for a little bit. It hadn't been broke too long, but yeah, this is wore slap out. So all you have to do on the John Deere, this is 27C, is pull this out. Today I don't have a roller today, but I should have one next week, and I'll tack that onto the video. But you can see the issue there. It's kind of wibbly wobbly and pretty much shot. I'll check all of the other components on the undercarriage just to make sure that there's no other issues, and replace those parts as well. Probably needs a new set of tracks, but these will probably last a very long time. The way I use it, I'm not using the excavator for anything other than just around the house. But this needed to be replaced, so I've got that little section I wanted to mow. And my concern is I didn't really have good back motion, and it's really hard on the hydraulic motor on the back to turn this when this has a lot of resistance against it. So it's not really good for the machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out. I got another one coming, and we'll get it swapped out. All right, so the part came in UPS, relatively cheap, got it on eBay. And the only thing I've got to do before I put this back on the excavator, you can see here, there's a little bit better look of how bad a shape it was in. There's no bushing, bearing, anything in there. All I've got to do is take off this piece, put it back here, and swap this on the excavator and get the track back on. Get some grease back in there, and that should be good to go. So I'm gonna get this unwrapped, get this piece swapped out. Hopefully the impact will get that loose pretty easy, and we should be pretty close to getting the excavator back up and running. Okay, so we got this assembled. A little bit of trickery there. Basically, you want to have that block away, get all your threads good and lined up, and then tighten up. I'm assuming this is maybe not the squarest part, but I was able to get them in. So all I gotta do right now is just carry this around to the excavator, slide this assembly back in, and then start putting the track back together. Okay, so we got that new piece slid in. Pretty easy to do. Just got to really watch your fingers. It's real easy to mash them. You got that big swivel piece on there. Put your fingers on that in the wrong place. I still got all mine. But anyway, so we've got this on. Now all we got to do is just pick the excavator back up and just manhandle this thing back on and put some grease in. And this project will be done. Well, that was a workout. Okay, so we got the track on. Basically use this bar, kind of working on kicking the bottom part of the track with a foot, prying up and over. I actually went too far, but I realized it before I'd spun it all the way around, backtracked, and it fell right in the groove. So now all we gotta do is just fill this end up with the grease, get the track tension correctly, and we're back in business. Whew, man, that was a workout. All right, so we're back in business. We got the track back on, getting ready to put the brush cutter back on, and we're going to take care of that bank. Anyway, I hope this video helps them out. If you have a bad idler or any of the undercarriage, it's pretty much the same process. Basically pull the track off, replace the parts, and get going. I've noticed I've run it a little bit As you can see here, I went up and actually cleared that out where I can get on that bank really easy. The tracks run a lot smoother. That made a huge difference. And it fixed my level of my blade. When I welded on that edge, I welded it square to the blade, and lo and behold, I replaced that idler, and now it's perfectly level. So just something to keep in mind if you're doing an edge replacement. Make sure that your undercarriage is nice and level. I lucked out and welded it the way it was on before, and now that I've got the idler replaced, it's perfectly smooth. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.